Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Colin. Today we're going to do some shadowing practice. The first part of this is I'm going to give you a text and I want you to read out loud by yourself. This is really important because it's a chance for you to find the parts of the text that are difficult for you. This could be words that are difficult to pronounce. It could be sentences that are a little bit of a tongue twister. So read out loud by yourself, test yourself is the very important first step. In the second step, I'm going to read the text out loud and I want you to listen very carefully. Also, after each sentence, I want you to pause the video and try to repeat the sentence, like me, as closely as you can. So listening carefully, but also trying to copy the way that I speak. That's step number 2. The third step, I'm going to analyze each sentence. I'm going to go through the text again and try to pick out difficult words, maybe some words that are difficult to pronounce, but also importantly, how to link sounds together. In my experience, that is something that students find really difficult. They don't know how words get linked together. And by linking sounds together, that's how you're going to speak smoothly, how you're going to speak quickly, okay? So that is the important third step. The fourth step, you're going to practice by yourself. So using everything that I teach you, you're going to go back and try to read the text as smoothly as you can. It's a good idea to record yourself if you can, so you can listen back. That is a really nice way of seeing your progress. So you've got this very first attempt at reading by yourself and you've got the final product after lots of practice. Using the same text is absolutely fine. The purpose of this practice is for you to discover the different parts of pronunciation, where to put your tongue, your teeth, your lips, get everything moving smoothly. So go back, take your time and practice as many times as you need. So let's get into today's shadowing. So the first thing I'd like you to do is to read the text for yourself. So pause the video now and read the text out loud. Okay, hopefully that went well. The next thing I want to do is read the text out, and I want you to listen to me reading the text. The digital future of gaming. Sony recently launched a sleeker, lighter PlayStation 5 without a disk drive, a first in its history. Microsoft also plans to introduce disc-free Xbox consoles in 2024. Most PC games are bought digitally on platforms like Steam, which holds a 98% share in digital PC game purchases. However, console owners, especially PlayStation users, have traditionally favored physical copies. This trend is shifting as companies push for digital subscriptions. This helps console makers control storefronts, reduce reselling, and keep game prices high. The future may see the gradual disappearance of physical media as digital options become more prevalent across gaming platforms. So you can go back and listen to that again and again if you like. You can also listen to one sentence at a time. But what I want to do now is look at the sentences and try to identify pronunciation and also areas where you can improve the smoothness of your speech. So let's have a look at this. The digital future of gaming. Future of. Okay, so we have future of gaming. Rov, that works quite well. This word digital is really tricky. Even I struggle with this word. Digital. So we have T-A-L, but we don't say tal, we say tul. It's more like T-I-L. digital. So 3 parts, digital. So let's look at the main text here. Sony recently launched a sleeker, and we have a pause here because we have a comma, lighter PlayStation 5 without a disk drive. Again, we have a pause. A first in its history. Now this is a nice little phrase to practice. First in its. A first in its history. That's a good phrase to just practice again and again. A first in its. You really practice the front part of your mouth. Use the tip of your tongue a lot. A first in its. A first in its history. Microsoft also, so again we have a T and an A, Microsoft also plans to introduce disk-free. This word disk gets stressed. Disk-free. Xbox consoles in, so we have a bit of an Z sound, consoles in 2024. Most PC games are, so we have again this Z sound, games are bought digitally. Now this is interesting, bought digitally. My suggestion to you is that you cut kind of this part of the word and it becomes more like bought digitally. So the T is kind of lost and it becomes bought digitally. Most PC games are bought digitally. So the bought we can actually really reduce down quite a lot and it makes us sound much more natural and smooth. Most PC games are bought digitally. Okay? On platforms like Steam, again we have a comma in here, which holds a, we have another Z in here, which holds a 98% share in digital PC game purchases. Digital PC game purchases. So this is interesting because there's 3 parts here. Digital PC game purchases. So you don't say digital PC game purchases, okay? You say digital PC game purchases. I want you to split it up that way. Okay, on to the next sentence. However, comma, we have a pause. Console owners, pause, especially PlayStation users, we have a pause here as well, have traditionally, okay? That's a tricky word. Take your time, practice it again and again. Traditionally. Favored physical copies. This trend is shifting. So this is quite interesting. I'm going to zoom in. So we have a double S sound here, is shifting. So this first S here, we can really cut out. Trend is shifting. We don't need to say this trend is shifting. We can say this trend is shifting. So that is a little tip to make your speech sound a little bit more smooth. Trend is shifting. Shifting as companies push for digital subscriptions. This helps console makers control storefronts, reduce reselling, and keep game prices high. So we have this up, up, down. We've got a list of 3 things, up, and then down on the final point here. storefronts, reduce reselling, and keep game prices high. The future may see the gradual disappearance of physical. Now, I'm going to zoom in again. Of physical. So OF, and then PH is also an F sound. So we can do the same thing, of physical. So this F can really be reduced down. So we have disappearance of physical, of physical. So we don't need to say of physical, we can say of physical. Okay. Media as digital options. Oh, I just noticed I switched from blue pen to red pen. Hopefully that's not too confusing. Digital options become more prevalent across gaming platforms. So we've got a lot in here. We've got some pauses. We've got some tricky words like digital, traditional, those kind of things. And also some little hacks that we want to focus on. Trend is shifting, disappearance of physical. So we're going to try and pay attention on these. We also have this bought digitally. Okay, so let's go through this again. And hopefully with these annotations, these marks, it will help you to hear what I'm saying. The digital future of gaming. Sony recently launched a sleeker, lighter PlayStation 5 without a disk drive, a first in its history. Microsoft also plans to introduce disc-free Xbox consoles in 2024. Most PC games are bought digitally on platforms like Steam, which holds a 98% share in digital PC game purchases. However, console owners, especially PlayStation users, have traditionally favored physical copies. This trend is shifting as companies push for digital subscriptions. This helps console makers control storefronts, reduce reselling, and keep game prices high. The future may see the gradual disappearance of physical media as digital options become more prevalent across gaming platforms. I think this is a really nice text for a few reasons. Number one, it's quite short, so you can repeat it again and again. You can practice and become more confident. And also it has a nice range of word links and a few tricky words that you need to work hard on. Words, as I said, words like digital, gradual, subscriptions, traditionally, these kind of things. I picked out some words that I think may be a little bit tricky. We can go through these quickly. So sleek is in the first sentence. Sony recently launched a sleeker, lighter PlayStation 5. Sleek, streamlined, elegant or neat in design or appearance. So imagine a sports car. Okay, you could describe a sports car as being sleek, or a bullet train if you're familiar with the Japanese bullet train, or even a smartphone could have quite a sleek kind of minimalist design. Console, a device for playing video games. Okay, PlayStation console, Nintendo console. Digitally. This is an adverb, in a digital way. So using computer systems or electronic data. So games are being sold digitally. Next word, platform. Now, platform has a few different definitions. You get a platform in a train station, for example. But platform here is a particular technology or system on which a particular application or service runs. So something like Facebook or Instagram, you could call a platform. Also the App Store, the Apple App Store is a platform. And even things like Netflix and YouTube could be considered as platforms. The next word here is storefront. The front side of a store facing the street. Now, storefront is a physical location, but here we're talking about storefronts online. So the place where these companies can sell their games online. So we still use the term storefront, even though it's not a physical location. Next we have reselling. So here reselling is actually used as a noun. If we see here, reduce reselling. Okay, the verb here is reduce, and this is the noun. Okay, reselling. But resell can also be a verb, to resell something. So understand that it can both be a verb and a noun. And the last word we've got here is prevalent. This is an adjective, widespread or common in a particular area or at a particular time. So things that are prevalent just now, things like social media use is prevalent, online shopping is prevalent, remote work, people working from home, that is also prevalent just now. Fast food, McDonald's, Starbucks, they are prevalent, they're widespread. Okay, so my advice to you is practice this again and again. If you can, read out loud, record yourself, and try to get as comfortable as possible, linking these sounds together and speaking clearly, but also at a good pace. If you've found this useful, please make sure to share it with a friend, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.